Hello and welcome to my Mission Controller Extended Kerbal Space Program series. In this one I'm going to start off by replicating the American Mercury program of the late 50s and early 60s to get my initial science before progressing up to something along the lines of Gemini, moving into the Apollo program, and then getting into the Space Shuttle program. And once I get to that point, it's going to get a little wilder, start delving into some experimental concepts NASA's been kicking around for years. I don't think I have the talent to try and build a Venture Star, but I am definitely going to give it my best effort. But with all that out of the way, let's hop into it. I'm just going to do a brief overview of the Mission Controller Extended mod. It has its own research and development tree, which is separate from the R&D menu. These are, the best way to describe them is kind of like perks in Fallout. Vessel recycling, once you research that and put 300 science into it, when you recover a vessel, you get a portion of its remaining value based on where you land it. Like an ocean recovery gives you 65% of your remaining value, and a dry land recovery gets you approximately 85%. Efficient fuels reduces the cost of fuel for your builds. Construction 1, Construction 2, pretty self-explanatory. They make your parts further cheaper, and mission payouts, better monetary returns for your flights. I don't have anything for that. Because of the way this kind of starts out, Mission Control Extended does not deduct the value of your ship until you actually launch. I'm just going to do a quick Suborbital Flight with Jeb as my Alan Shepard stand-in, with Moho being the Kerbal Systems Mercury analog. This will be the Moho program. And you can do this at any point, at any screen. These buttons are visible. You can go to contract selection. I don't have nearly enough parts to do any of these, so they're just going to have to sit there. Select my current mission. You select what package they come from. I'm going to start with the Kerbal SOI missions, Caro 1. You're to launch to a maximum altitude of 60,000 meters with a minimum altitude of 10,000 meters. I'm going to select that mission, and before this goes very badly wrong, I'm going to fix my staging. And launch. And because using Ferrum, the aerodynamics of this make a significant difference. Hang on, I got these. Okay, that's correct. Because Ferrum aerodynamics make a significant difference in your delta V, I actually have to be very careful to stay under that minimum altitude on this flight. And so I will pitch over very early and try to put as much of my delta V into lateral movement as possible. As long as I get this thing above 10,000 meters, everything should be fine. Quick IVA view. And this is the raster prop monitor. I really wish that it had tech tree integration, so you'd start your first missions with not so fancy multifunction displays. But it's probably one of my absolute favorite mods out there. It's got a lot of neat functionality, and I'm going to do my best to show it off throughout this series and all the different things it can do, and just how useful it can make your IVA cockpit view. Accomplished my goal, so long as my apoapsis doesn't get too high. And that burned out just in time to save my parachute. I'm low enough. I'm gonna try and flip this retrograde. Get as much drag on it as I can, so I won't break 60,000 meters. And there we go. Poor Jeb's getting all shook up in there. And because I don't have vessel recycling unlocked on the mission control extended tech screen, there's really not going to be any benefit to having this booster attached when I come down, and most likely it'll be destroyed on splashdown because the extra mass will make my entry velocity higher. Go ahead and kick time acceleration up. Well, actually, we're up here, so let's get some science done. EVA report, and get back in. I'm using texture compressor, but I'm using basic. I was able to get all my mods balanced out to where I'm not running out of RAM yet, although it could become a problem later. So all my textures, the bitmaps have been reduced to half size, but the actual textures themselves are still full res. I'll see how long I get away with that. I'm using a skybox from Prude's Renaissance Pack. I'm using his Night City textures and using the Better Atmospheres mod for my... because I just love these better Terminator bands here. And you can see those city lights right there. They're probably not scaled correctly for Kerbin, but I just think they look absolutely drop dead gorgeous, so I'm sticking with them. Kerbin's so small that the other mods that show streets and the actual routes in the cities are probably more scientifically correct, but I'm going more for visual flair on this one. And even with deadly re-entry, it's still not going to burn this parachute off, though I deployed it too early. The biggest danger was that the orientation was going to burn the base. It seems like only the base is an actual physics object, and then this is just an effect. As far as deadly re-entry's calculations go. So I'm just screaming in there, towing my drogue chute behind me. It's going to be a wet landing or a dry landing. Looks like I'm coming down on water. And it's going to be a very violent snap. If I can't get it reoriented before... No. It's very happy in that aerodynamic configuration. It'll probably rip the booster right off when it snaps. Or not. Go ahead and time accelerate a bit. And since he's here, Jeb do some science. So I can get that hatch rolled back over. Oh, too far. Probably I'm not going to get back in there. Oh, ragdoll. Oh. and do a quick report. Recover vessel and harvest our bounty of science. Although I don't think I collected my payout. No, I didn't. So that was pretty much just money thrown down the drain. However, I can start to research a couple things, make life nicer. Alright, and for this flight, we are going to try for orbit. Without any type of aerodynamic stability on this. Oh, hang on. And when you have to revert in mission control, if you just do your revert after you've launched, you will lose the value of your ship unless you click revert space program from the MCE window. I could have just recovered there, but I do not want Jib hogging all the glory. We're going to give Bill a chance here. Select our current mission. This one I just have to get above 70,000. Without any aerodynamic stability to be had, I'm going to have to fly this as vertical as possible without getting too fast, and then pitch over once I get to approximately 30,000 feet. Meters. Try to manage this climb speed. The problem being this vessel's center of lift is far forward of its center of mass, and if I step out of line even too much, it's going to turn sideways and try to flip out on me.
That's your pop.
But once I get to where the atmosphere is less of an issue, I can pitch over to my heart's content, throttle up, and continue raising my apoapsis. Ferrum does reduce your delta V requirements to get into orbit, but it makes keeping your rocket stable much more problematic. So I think this is a safe. I think I can go off axis here without really losing it. Still gotta make sure the apoapsis doesn't get too high. Alright. Throttle down even more. This is a very ugly and inefficient ascent. It's just until I get those tail fins unlocked. Would have been very difficult to keep this flying correctly. Running out of time to get that right. Go full throttle. Coming up on booster stage cutout. Stage thrust out. And that was so inefficient, I'm probably not. Well, that's coming down pretty rapidly, so I may have enough to make orbit here. This obviously being my Kerbal equivalent of Mercury Redstone 6, which took John Glenn into orbit. How close are we? I think I'm going to burn the rest of that up, but no, nope. Came up just short. Send Bill on a EVA. Crew report. Can already ditch that. Because Bill was able to come down in a different biome, can get some more science done. Alright. Gonna hop back in. That should be enough science for me to finish unlocking this tier. And actually be able to make orbit on the next launch.